Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a deck review, flip through, shuffle, and pull at the end. We're reviewing the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, illustrated by Tihana, what's her last name? Lukovic, okay? Or Tijana Lukovic, all right? All right, I absolutely love the Seasons of the Witch series of oracles. They're all absolutely stunning and gorgeous. Lorraine and Juliet always work with amazing illustrators for these decks. Every image on these cards evoke even extra messages for those that have more clairvoyant response. You know, popping up some of your intuitive responses as well. I mean, there's tons of imagery, lots of color. I absolutely adore it. Comes in a standard oracle box, okay. 44 cards and a guidebook. I think that's pretty standard for all of them, is 44 cards. And I love all the shimmer. If you can see that, you see the shimmer? Okay. That's another thing she's known for, is the shimmer. Yes, gorgeous. Comes with a nice, good guidebook here. Usually all of the stuff's in the beginning and the meanings of the cards are in the back. These are all numbered and looks to be alphabetized as well. All right, with the index here. Introduction, Mabon themes and areas of focus, okay. Agriculture and ancestral healing, balance and transitions, concentration, endings and mourning, goals and accomplishments, grounding, gratitude, healing and self-care, planning and prep, sharing and wisdom. So everything you can think of autumn, okay? All right, using the cards, beyond Mabon even, daily guidance, intention cards, daily reflection, altar cards, and various spreads. Of course, you can always just pull on the fly if you like, but there's a lot of choices here if you like working spreads. That's great. And then of course all of the cards, including in color, okay? There's usually keywords to it, and then a phrase, a really poetic phrase, and then a meaning, okay? I did notice this one didn't have too many reversals. I don't know if any of them do. We'll have to see. But there's also rituals here as well, so that's helpful. Various rituals and practices, maybe even mantras, affirmations, that sort of thing, okay? Prayers. Trying to see what else they might have. Some don't, some do, okay. Ooh, recipes, nice. Even recipes in here, okay. Protection spells. There's an affirmation. I knew I saw one. Oh, how nice. Okay, so you get the idea, right? All right, let's do a flip through. Take a look at this deck. They all have this back side. If you did want to read reversals, it would just be a reverse meaning, right? So you could do that if you want. The cards themselves are designed in a way so that either way you look at it, you can't tell if it's upright or not, right? All right, gilded edge, a beautiful orange color. Hopefully you can, that comes up with the lighting well enough. Okay, it is a much deeper color than it shows. It shows kind of yellowish. It's actually really nicely orange, okay? Sort of similar to that color. All right, let's do a flip through. Card number 1, we'll go through the ones, the single digits. Nummy chocolate. Now we're hitting the teens, the double digits. This one may have a recipe. I have a feeling any food items would probably have something like that, or some kind of elixir or tincture you can make with it, right? Now for the 20s. Give me a second here. My cuff is going to keep moving that deck, that side of the deck. Now for the 30s. Alright. And there's some combinations here too I've seen already. So they'll have some meanings with that. 40s. And last but not least. Okay. Set that aside. Let's do a couple shuffles so you can see how it works in my hands. I have average size hands. I also have cubital and carpal tunnel, so I'll let you know if it hurts a little bit or if it's too stiff. Not too bad thus far. Oh, nice and smooth. Her decks are so durable, last a long time, and super easy to use, almost right out the box usually. The cardstock is usually like a nice, flexible, but very strong cardstock. And of course there's some gloss on it, okay? Alright. I know some don't like the gloss, others do, so I'm not particular. Unless it just shows up too shiny on screen for some reason, right? Okay. So I'm doing a side shuffle. I usually do that a bunch of times. It just kind of breaks in the deck a little bit extra for me. That's just what works for me, but you can use any technique that might work for you, okay? But you may have to do that once you first get it and after you cleanse the deck and everything. I notice that does help unstick them from the manufacturing process. Alright, let's see how it handles with a hand shuffle. Oh, smooth. Didn't want to do too many chunks right out of the gate. Sometimes it does. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, that's easy and smooth. You saw that, right? Okay. Let's do a fan out for those that like to fan out on a table. Keep in mind my table is pockmarked. It used to be an old craft table, right? So of course it's been beat up and used. Easy. Look at that. Even with the table fighting it. So simple. All right. All right. Let's see how the bridge shuffle works for those that do want to work reversals. Ah, easy as usual. As I expected with her decks. All right, now for split. Still has a little bit of static, but nothing major. Pretty easy. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, so let's pull you guys a card, and we'll read from the book and see what the message is, and you get an idea of how it's written. All right, let's get one for the collective, please. And maybe you get some guidance. Crow, number 11. Ooh, master number. All right. 11 may be significant to someone. That breaks down to a 2. February, November could be timing of 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 11 minutes, seconds, hours. You get it. You get that gist, right? You could be life path number 11 or 2, or this could be about someone who's a life path number 11 or 2. February is Aquarius, Pisces, and November is, what is that? Is that Libra, Scorpio? I think so. Libra, Scorpio, no. Yes. Okay, if it's not Libra, a Libra might be involved, or it might be some placement, okay? All right. But I think that's Libra, Scorpio. Or Scorpio, Sagittarius. That's what it is. Okay. Pay close attention to the winds. There's a message making its way. Air element is significant here, okay? Maybe that's why I said Libra. Okay. And of course, Aquarius. Okay. So maybe there's some sort of balanced communication possibly coming through. Something is definitely manifesting here. Keywords. Something's coming, messages, and pay attention. Maybe when it's literally windy outside. Okay. Let's see. Your higher self chose this card because a message is coming your way and is warning you to keep an eye out for important signs and clues of what to come. So maybe you might see some crows. You might see something in the wind. Could be a crow feather. I just saw one in my mind's eye floating around. I did see that with a feather recently, but it was from a parrot, not a crow. But could also be a raven as well, okay? Because I did see ravens earlier this week. Nothing truly manifests without some warning, and a warning could easily just be a heads up or a confirmation, right? The signs might be subtle, but they may have been prompting you your entire life. You might feel a sensation such as a tingle in your neck, or perhaps a decision gives you a sense of dread. You might have an idea that instantly lifts your spirits or feels some electricity when you meet someone new. All of these sensations are clues that attempt to steer you towards a rewarding life. Pulling the Crow card is a sign to trust in your intuition, especially in the coming days. You may be quick to dismiss your feelings as being silly, and perhaps they are in many societies. However, you're connected to the spirit realm, where all things are possible, and the only right answer is the one that gives you a feeling of peace, joy, and success. Trust in your ability to read the messages of the universe, and know there is always a pathway to safety for those who know where to look. Whether the message coming your way is good or bad remains to be seen. Look to other cards within your reading or select additional cards for more details. So let's do that, shall we? Let's go ahead and just split the deck since we were doing that easily. And that top card will be it. We'll see that in a minute. Okay? Adjusting your antenna. It would be best if this exercise could be performed while standing or sitting outside in nature, although it can be done anywhere. Place your palms on your jawline and your fingers cupped over your ears. With your thumbs under your ears, take a deep breath in and out, then repeat the in and out breaths, but this time lift your fingers from over your ears while leaving your palms on your jawline. It becomes an open door, closed door situation. To close the door, you cover your ears by cupping them. Then you open the door by lifting your fingers away from your ears. Continue to do this as you take deep breaths for at least 1 minute. Then sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes and receive your message. Okay, let's see what the second card is. Because that's what it could be about. Grieving, number 19. Breaks down to a 20 and 2 again. Okay, so maybe there's some sort of decision or opportunity to balance. This could be about a relationship for some of you, okay? The chambers of your mourning are surrounded by nothingness, emptiness waiting to be seen. There you are. Grief, mourning, deep sorrow, heartbreak. Your higher self chose this card because grief isn't just about the death of a loved one. Mourning is defined as feeling regret or sadness about the loss or disappearance of something. So maybe you're going to be given a heads up on something that might be easily misplaced. A situation, person, relationship, since 2 is here. Or maybe a choice between 2 things and you have to let one go, okay? You can grieve the end of a career, a move from one place to another, letting go of a dream, or seeing your children leave the nest. While grief isn't pleasant, it's important to acknowledge the loss of something or someone that was important to you. Doing so doesn't just reduce the love you had for what you lost, but it does give you a way to let go and move on. To ignore your sadness is to deny a meaningful part of your life story. Pulling grieving is an opportunity to embrace the heavy emotions you may have been carrying. Express the fullness of your heartache as a tribute to what once was. And then once you have cried, screamed, gotten angry or sad, your spirit will be free. It's only when you deny your grief that it becomes baggage. Will you feel sad from time to time? Of course. Memories have a way of creeping in, even with healthy grief process, but it won't be a constant thorn in your soul. This card also reminds you that it's okay to feel sorrow for something or someone who is gone, even if that person or thing brought you great harm. So maybe when this sign or signal shows up, maybe it's just reminding you maybe there's a little bit more healing that can be done, or just a moment to really sit with it, okay, and just be with that feeling, okay? Especially if you're going to be cupping your ears, okay? Whatever that message is. The bad memories don't erase the good ones, and there's nothing wrong with cherishing any happiness you once experienced together. It doesn't matter if other people don't understand your grief, because it isn't theirs to understand in the first place. Okay? There you go, guys. If you want to check out any more decks, I have a whole playlist down below. Eventually, we'll be using these, including all those seasons of the Witch Oracles that we've had up until this point, okay, if you want to check those out. We'll also be using this in future videos, so stay tuned, okay? They may already be down below if you're catching this on a later end of the spectrum of when this got released, okay? Bye.